Fox Sports Carolinas welcomes you inside Canadian Tire Center, the second of 3 meetings this season between the Carolina Hurricanes and the Ottawa Senators. Good evening, everybody. Alongside Trip Tracy, I'm John Forslund. As always, thanks for joining us as the Hurricanes look to get back on the winning side of things here tonight. And we're going to chart the steady progressions of some of their younger players. Let's start with Elias Lindholm and Jeff Skinner.
Well, I think the common thread between these two players that seem to be regaining their goal-scoring confidence is where they're getting to score these goals. I mean, you look at Lindholm, a heck of a power play goal. Jiri Tlusty, net front presence in front. Then getting again to the middle of the ice. Jiri Tlusty, again a net front presence, so good things happen. His 11 goals, a lot of them have come from just getting to the middle of the ice. And Skinner, yeah, it may look wide, but he's on the inner portion of the circle for both of these goals. And it looks like he has that real confidence back in his shot.
Earlier tonight, here's Tripp with 53.
Jeff, you've scored a couple of the goals in the last couple of the games, getting to the areas you have to. What's been the biggest component in getting to those good shooting spots?
I think just getting good offensive zone time. I think anytime you're sort of rolling around, you put yourself in better position and you give yourself more opportunities to bear down. I think even a couple games before those two, I think I had a couple good chances, and fortunately those two went in for me.
They've looked like goal scorers goals against Anaheim and then especially against Minnesota. Do you feel a difference in your hands when it starts to go your way or your accuracy?
Yeah, maybe. I think the confidence helps a lot too. I think you sort of go through a frustrating time there and you can't really seem to get a bounce, and then you get one, it's sort of a bit of a relief, and then you can sort of try and get on a roll from there.
Terrific. Good luck tonight.
Thanks, Rip.
On defense, a young player up from the American Hockey League for the second time this season. What did you think of Mikhail Jordan in Minnesota?
Liked it a lot, and I love his attitude. I mean, his attitude, his last recall, and continues to be, you know what, I don't want to leave the NHL. And I think he has that self-belief. I think he can make a good first pass in transition. I think he has good offensive instincts. He's going to get a look on the power play tonight. Bill Peters used him with the extra attacker late in the game. There was right off the bench, getting on sides for that nice little one-toucher to Jordan and Jeff for a nice goal.
Well, the opponents are desperate for points. They're 9 points out of a wild card spot, so their leaders are on the spot, led by Erik Karlsson.
Yeah, I think they're pretty excited about the leadership core of this very young hockey club, whether it be Karlsson on the back end, Bobby Ryan up front. I mean, Karlsson's one of my favorite players to watch in the game. I mean, his plus-minus has really come a long way since we've seen him last, but he continues to be just such a dynamic offensive player for a wiry Swede. He fires the puck as well as anybody, the way it zips off his stick. So difficult for goalies to read. He obviously can make a terrific first pass as well.
Some rookies have played well. That's Mark Stone, Coors Light Cold Hard Facts. He has 33 points. Mike Hoffman, 32. 19 goals. So good contributions from first-year players here in Canada's capital. Cam Ward leads the way out. The Hurricanes were here a month ago, and it was a positive outcome. They look for more here tonight. Inside Canadian Tire Center, 92nd all-time meeting between these two teams. Let's check out the starting goaltenders tonight for the Hurricanes. It's Cam Ward, who played Thursday night at home against Anaheim, had 15 saves and a 2-1 loss. Their team defense is number 14. And 23-year-old Robin Lehner had 25 saves here in a 7-2 win over Edmonton on Saturday. Their team defense is number 20. Bill Peters said this morning this game will be a test of where we're at after losing the last two and what they have built since the 1st of January. Dave Cameron took over for Paul McLean on December the 11th. He's at 500, as you see, but his team is desperate for points. They are 9 points out of the second and final wildcard spot in the Eastern Conference. Eric Staal, Jordan Staal, Jiri Tlusty, left to right for the Hurricanes. Andrej Sekera, Justin Falk in the back end in front of Cam Ward. Sit back and enjoy this one. Off the draw, Tlusty in control. He'll feed it in on Robin Lehner. The 6'5" goaltender drops it off for the defense. Played by Eric Gryba, back out to center ice, Mika Zibanejad. Just inside his own line, Justin Falk through center. You see it come all the way back in the Ottawa zone, and Jared Callen, who did not play, has a healthy scratch on Saturday. Couldn't get to it. Here's Bobby Ryan, having an outstanding season for the Senators, broken up by Andrej Sekera. Carolina in the process of a line change. It's cut off by Mike Hoffman, the rookie with 19. Elias Lindholm's shot is swallowed by Robin Lehner. Let's take a look at the Rex Express Care injuries and scratches. Rex Healthcare, chosen for excellence.
Well, Carolina continues to have an accountability-themed open door with regards to their lineup. Lyles is out. I thought he'd had a couple of good games, but a tough one against Minnesota. Semin, unfortunately, this isn't the first time he's been out of the lineup. Victor Rask, anybody that's watched Carolina games knows how high I am of the promise of Victor. He'll utilize this experience to watch the game from up here and take with it a positive experience.
And as Bill Peters said in Hurricanes Live, he's back in tomorrow night at home against the Islanders. Now Ron Hainsey in control. He'll thread it deep, intended for Jeff Skinner, who has 2 goals in as many games. Riley Nash out of the corner, pinned by Milan McCulloch. Mark McClott, who signed a 4-year contract extension today, exits the zone for Ottawa with help here from Erik Karlsson. In the skates of Kyle Turris, it comes all the way back. Brett Belmore back in for Carolina, paired on defense with Ron Hainsey. You're looking at Riley Nash, and away they go. Picked off by McClott. It'll average $4.9 million over 4 seasons for the Ottawa native. And it takes him out of the trade equation. It comes all the way back in the Ottawa zone. Icing is called here. Well, tonight is a special night for one of Ottawa's young players. Out of Rochester, New York, Shane Prince will play his first NHL game. And a lot of teams do this trip, but his teammates wait, and he goes out for the warm-up all by his lonesome.
Yeah, he took a full lap, so you think about the nerves playing his first game, the former member of first the Kitchener Rangers, but then the Ottawa 67s here in the OHL. Played a game here yesterday in the American League in this building.
Shot taken, turned out by Cam Ward in the dead slot by defenseman Patrick Wierkosh. Dropped along now by Curtis Lassard. Clark MacArthur had the flu Saturday night, did not play. Here's a chance off Ward, second chance. He robs Clark MacArthur. And the Hurricanes survive as they get it out.
Boy, Belmore typically would be so physical right there. You know, back in the lineup, that's one of his best assets. The stick check led to a heck of a chance for the Sens.
Andre Nestrashil moves it by Alex Chiasson. It's carried out here by Brett Belmore. He attempts to gain center, which he does, all the way in on Robin Leonard, who paddles it to the corner. Nestrashil in back of the goal, holding onto it. To the point it goes, Jordan. This way it's Tim Gleason, a wrister. No tip, patted down by Leonard. Loose to the corner, Nestrashil in back of the goal now. They go wide with Chris Terry. Here's Nathan Gerby, a new look third line. Gerby grinds it to the outside, holding onto it. Off the stick of Chiasson, played ahead by Jordan as the Sens now get to it. And Clark MacArthur will settle it down. Patrick Wierkosh now will start for the zone. Treated on the way out by Jordan Stahl. A tip that time by Eric Condra. David Legwand, the veteran, over the line. He scored in the 7-2 rout over Edmonton here Saturday as Justin Falk clears it back out to center ice. Jared Callen, former first-rounder, gets it deep.
And who scored the empty net goal to clinch the Memorial Cup for Spokane with his coach, Bill Peters.
Shane Prince, first NHL game, 10 in red. Callen at the point. Looking for Prince. His shot tipped, knocked down by Falk. Second chance gained by Andre Sekera. And Carolina will escape harm as they wheel it all the way back in Sens territory.
Boy, Prince played quite a few games in the American Hockey League. I know that talking to General Manager Brian Murray this morning, that's what you want to do. You want guys to spend as much time there as possible.
All right, Trip, let's take a look at the Storm Tracker, our game keys tonight.
Well, back to good starts. I mean, that's where Carolina lost the game against the Wild. They had an atypical for them recently. Bad start. Better coverage defensively. That was part of that rough first period. And match what you know Karlsson offensively is going to bring from the Ottawa blue line. They did that and surpassed it in the win here January 17th.
McClement, Malone, and Dwyer reunited tonight for Bill Peters as the fourth line. Ron Hainsey with Belmore. They hinge out to center. Here's McClement. This way for Malone. His shot turned out easily and out of play by Robin Leonard.
Malone scored a big goal here the last visit. And I say big because his game was really starting to round into form. You know, as I said, it was January 17th. He had scored against Philadelphia to kick off the month and played well against Boston, a couple of home wins, but then was sat out as a healthy extra when he didn't deserve to be. And even Bill Peters knew it the night before he came here, plugged back in the lineup and scored late in the first period. That's the type of depth of character you want.
And that really made a difference in that 3-2 win. Now Hainsey moved along for Elias Lindholm. Hainsey sneaks in, shut down by Leonard. He'll freeze. Hey, Caniacs, 50% off is back. If the Canes score 3 or more goals tonight, you get 50% off your entire menu price online order at participating Papa John's the day after the Canes score 3 or more. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
You mentioned Prince. I wonder if he and Jeff Skinner played with Kitchener in the OHL together. You look at Nestrashil back at center, taking a draw here against Turris. His draws were better the last time he played center against Anaheim.
7 out of 10. Gleason with a shot blocked on the way through. Mathot takes over. Mark Mathot wheels along now, and in control, Milan McCulloch, and he has been red hot. He'll turn away from Andre Nestrashil. Back ahead for Kyle Turris. Out to the center zone, it's Mark Stone. He'll try and get it by Tim Gleason as they go to the corner. Out of the corner now, Turris hits a hole. He'll stop and start on Gleason. He'll grind it back. A shove by Tim Gleason. Mark Stone, the rookie, in the skates of Gleason, captured by Cam Ward. No further play.
This job slowing the game down from Cam Ward at his end. And you really don't play against the other goaltender because what he does has no impact on your game. But for Robin Leonard, he told me this morning that he's got to play better against Carolina. He said for whatever reason, this team has had his number. The 6'4 goaltender has never had a good game. He told me against the Hurricanes. His goaltending coach, Rick Walmsley, said for the first real stretch, Robin Leonard is using his size by playing a less is more brand of goal.
Craig Anderson has a right hand injury, cannot hold a stick. He did work out this morning without his stick, though, under the direction of the aforementioned Rick Walmsley. It comes all the way back in. Curtis Lazar, first-round pick and a star for the Canadian gold medal junior team that won it all this season. Now Wierkosh from his own zone, back out. The headman pass. Alex Chiasson now will attempt to get it deep. It goes to the corner. Wierkosh up on the play. Pummeled a bit by Yuri Tolusti. Jordan Stahl has all kinds of time. Back out to center ice. Clark MacArthur is on it for the Senators. Here they come. A lead pass intended for Curtis Lazar. Put off by Jordan Stahl, but Lazar finishes off number 11.
Ron Francis actually went to go watch one of Lazar's World Junior winning teammates, Dawson Krause, who plays for Kingston, who played against the Ottawa 67s yesterday. So all sorts of hockey at the American League game here. The 67s playing, and Travis Konecny is also going to be a first rounder, plays for Ottawa. So Ron Francis made sure to be at that game.
Yeah, so did Bill Peters. He went with Ron, and both those players are slated to be in the top 10. A little bit on the back half of it. Now out to center ice. McClement nullified up the line. Mathot had it, lost it. Shane Prince now will clear it all the way back in the Carolina zone, and Dave Cameron's team can get a line change. Turning back is Ron Hainsey away from David Legwan. Played here by Brett Belmore. Turnover. Bobby Ryan. His shot wide of Cam Ward. Belmore gets redemption now. He'll lug it out for the second time. Brad Malone through center, snapped along by Jay McClement.
I'm telling you, Belmore has some depth to his confidence. Could have been physical on his first shift there, a bad turnover in the middle. But he has the type of, I think, intestinal fortitude he can recover.
Mike Hoffman, Justin Falk getting back for the Hurricanes. Paired on defense with Sekera as always. Andre Sekera, hard pressed by Mika Zibanejad. Loose along the board, Skinner bumped a bit by Eric Gryba. You see it come all the way back in the Senators zone.
That is Skinner before he started scoring goals. I thought really back in Arizona after he was sent a message being out of the line rushes in practice, his defensive acumen got better. You see it there. That's a simple play. Coaches love it.
Bobby Ryan options back in his own end. Gryba, a big defenseman who likes to play physical, and they like a left-right situation on the back end. They have it in all three pairs. Broken up here by Nathan Gerby. Camped out, Chris Terry. Here he comes, taken down. No call, Cowan to the outside. Jared Cowan, as Ottawa is successful as they get it out to center.
You mentioned Terry's missed 6 games. I thought maybe his last game he played was one of his best as a Hurricane.
Andre Nestrashil taken down. Carolina applies more pressure. Nestrashil, power move. He scores! Andre Nestrashil sneaks it by Robin Leonard. And the Canes are off and running.
Well, you remember what I just said about Robin Leonard. He told me today, he didn't hide from me. He said certain teams, they just get in your head. They have your number. There you see the big body of Nestrashil. Instead of dumping the puck, the Hurricanes gain the line. It's just a bad goal. It's just a bad goal. But it's the big body, A to B hockey, that allows Nestrashil even to get below the goal line, get the positioning on Stone, and then, the video doesn't lie. Robin Leonard's got to stop that any day that ends in a loss.
Fourth goal of the season, second in as many games for Andre Nestrashil. Hurricanes get the important first goal. Out to center ice. Wierkosh in control away from Eric Stahl. 12:53 left in the opening period. John Trippett Chantel with you as always. Tonight from Canadian Tire Center. Here in Canada, Ontario, the outskirts of Ottawa. To the corner now. Fielded by Justin Falk. Rink wide for Sekera. Here he comes. Andre Sekera all the way across. Shot taken by Eric. Stopped by Robin Leonard. Ottawa survives as they wheel ahead. Nathan Gerbe gets the only assist on the goal by Nestrashil. Ottawa now. Cody Ceci with a shot off the stick of Cam Ward. Jordan Stahl out to the neutral zone in control. Patrick Dwyer. He throws on the brakes. Ahead for Brad Malone. He's checked by Eric Condra. Good pass to the point. It's Belmore. His wrists are off the stick. Getting to it here is Jay McClement in support. Pat Dwyer. He'll grind. Dwyer now pulls up on Mathot. Holding onto it. He'll turn away. Pay a price. Hit by Mathot. Now McClement below the icing line. You see it up close. It's read by Eric Condra as the Senators attempt to get it out. Dwyer with a chance off a stick. It goes high. And it is deflected out of play. 11:51 left to go in the opening period. And the Canes start on time. They get a fortunate bounce from Andre Nestrashil. In Ottawa, there's the goal scorer, Andre Nestrashil. Bill Peters has the Geico quote. Flat on, it was a bizarre game. It was as bad as we played in a long time. Lack of compete. Just not enough guys competing or showed up on time. Too many passengers. That's on Saturday night.
I like the message sending. I like, having those strong comments against the Minnesota team that now is 8-0-2 in its last 10 games. I don't completely agree. I thought they had a rough first period. I thought they were pretty good in the second and third period. In particular, the third period. But I still like it when you send that type of message, even if I thought the Hurricanes did more good things.
Riley Nash now coming back in the center zone. Hands it off to Ron Hainsey. The shots as we see. 5-4 Carolina. Nestrashil from Gerbe at 6:49. Erik Karlsson turns it this way for Mark Stone. Picked off by Riley Nash, and away they go. His pass detected momentarily by McCulloch. Carried back in by Nash, who's hit hard by Mark Stone. Elias Lindholm, Jeff Skinner. Along the wall, guarded by Kyle Turris. Jordan, his shot. Skate saved by Leonard. Getting to it is Lindholm. Inside for Skinner. Jeff Skinner now. Centers one, nobody home out in front. Ottawa in control. McCulloch for Turris, and here they come. Kyle Turris, Mark Stone in the slot. Good stick by Tim Gleason. The pass was intended for Erik Karlsson, and the Hurricanes get a change as they get it deep.
And a former first-round pick, Tim Gleason, before being traded to LA, has had a pretty good first period. Jeff Skinner, you see his game coming along. The board work there in the trenches offensively.
Mike Hoffman slides it in. Sekera for the Hurricanes away from Zibanejad. Nathan Gerbe, one touch a couple of times here. Nestrashil, Terry with a shot off the stick off Greiba. 3 to the corner. Falk for Gerbe, skate to stick. He'll go deep. Andre Nestrashil in back of Robin Leonard. He's muscled by Kalinarap. Chance Terry. Frozen by Robin Leonard.
Terry's a smart, intelligent hockey player. He knows that that little post was not covered on the goal, so he went after it. Nestrashil, playing the wing, goes to the front of the net. Tough to move him, and he's even more deadly if his stick's on the ice. And here he creates his own luck, I think, with his route, with his wingers, gaining the line without having to dump the puck, being able to separate himself from the low defense work there from Stone from Ottawa, and then, of course, the bad goal. The puck had eyes, but he did a lot to the good.
Stahls come out with Toulouse off the face-off. You see it pop back. Andre Sekera will cradle it D to D. Falk, the captain awaiting. Eric Stahl gains center ice. Hard around it goes. This way it's Bobby Ryan. Ryan coming down, gets help from Cody Ceci. You see it, and now Patrick Wierkosh in his own end. He'll hand it off. On the way out, choked off that time beautifully by Yuri Toulouse. Sekera, quick up. Chipped along by Jordan Stahl. It comes all the way in. Wierkosh is on Toulouse. Zibanejad in support. 93 in red away for Clark MacArthur. He gets away from Jordan Stahl, and here come the Senators. Wierkosh for Bobby Ryan. Back for Wierkosh, and he skates. Worked along by MacArthur. Wrap chance. Ward got a pad to it. And now Jordan Stahl wheels from his own zone. Carolina gains the zone in the person of Patrick Dwyer. Patrick Wierkosh for Clark MacArthur at the top of your screen. They start over. Here's their captain. Their 9th in history, Erik Karlsson. He'll get it deep. Brett Belmore back on it. Flushed out by Chiasson. Loose in back of the goal. Ron Hainsey is tied up in the forecheck. It's centered. Curtis Lazar winds it back. They'll play it along, but it's broken up nicely by Jay McClement, and the Hurricanes dart ahead. Here's Brad Malone. His shot sealed off by Robin Leonard. 9:01 left to go in period 1. Brad Malone and the Hurricanes with a good start in Canada's capital.
Back in Ottawa, it's 1-0 Carolina. Eric Gryba from the Ottawa Senators started his duck and geese calling business just a year ago. He teamed up with his avid outdoorsman and started Capital Geese Fowling. And this is really something else. The business took off in Canada, and soon-to-be announced expansion plans are hush-hush. But right now, they have dozens of different products to attract duck and geese, selling for $150 apiece. Eric came up with the idea because he wanted to put his Boston University degree to work and have something set up for after he retires. Any hunters interested, check out capitalwaterfowling.com, guys.
It's pretty impressive. I mean, the extent of my involvement with those fine birds is having been a good duck-duck-goose player as a kid.
He had his hunting boots on this morning, Mr. Gryba did. So he's quite the outdoorsman, but you would need it in this climate the way it is today. The temperatures have been well below zero. The wind chill around -40. A chance by Skinner, shouldered by Robin Leonard. It goes to the corner. Mark Stone for Kyle Turris, and back out to center ice.
Skinner's had an excellent first period. Pretty good defensive work. I can remember a particular play getting a puck out. Very strong with a high level of competing courage along the boards, and there, the quick release with confidence.
Jiri Tlusty coming back in his own zone. Here's Andre Sekera, lead pass for Jordan Staal. Staal gets away from Mike Hoffman. It comes all the way back in. A good look at Bobby Ryan. The New Jersey native is checked there by Tlusty and Staal, that being Eric. Tlusty taken down out in front. Good back check by Mike Hoffman, and out they come. Bobby Ryan in control. Out in front, wedged wide by Mika Zibanejad. Getting to it is Eric Staal, and Carolina will escape harm as they roll it back ahead and get a line change, but is whistled dead here, offside.
First time tonight, Carolina's had 3 forwards caught deep.
Hey, Caniacs, here's your chance to win a team-signed hockey stick from Rex Healthcare. Just follow Rex Healthcare and tweet or Instagram a picture that shows you've got heart with the hashtag #GotHeart. The winner notified by reply tweet and announced in the 3rd period.
See if Nestershil can win another one against the veteran Legwand.
Possession goes to Ottawa. In control, Jared Cowan. Flung along by Brett Belmore. Carolina will have to tag up. They do. In the neutral zone now, carried out by Eric Gryba. Back again for Cowan. Broken up by Chris Terry. A good play. Here's Nathan Gerby on the off wing. His shot canceled by Eric Gryba, but Gerby gets to it. Indirect pass out of the reach of Ron Hainsey. Back out to the red line.
Chris Terry's had a heck of a first period. I mentioned before he's been a healthy extra. His last game he played, I thought might have been his best as a Hurricane. He's been a victim of the numbers. He's had his speed, which he doesn't have a ton of. His reads have been good. His play away from the puck has been good. He's been noticeable in this period.
He's been out for 6 straight. Getting back in tonight for Bill Peters. Now Wierkosh in control. Cody Ceci, the Ottawa native, a first-round pick. Moved in by Condra. Coming back, Brad Malone with a tight turn. Good pass for Dwyer. Here's Jay McClement. McClement now will fish it by the Ottawa defense. Good look at Wierkosh around the wall. Goes over the stick of Mikhail Jordan. A breakout. MacArthur. He'll cut. Pull up. The late man. Chiasson. What a save by Ward. Blocked by Malone in the crease. Hack and whack time. And it's still fought for. Wierkosh. Chiasson. Broke it up in front by Gleason. Wierkosh again. Ward without his stick. In back of the goal now. Jordan turned it over momentarily, but now they get it. It's Lazar in the slot. Good sweep check by Jordan on Wierkosh, and Carolina survives.
Every coach wants to see how a player recovers from a mistake, because obviously it's a game of mistakes. Jordan, it was a combination, more probably a tough bounce at the offensive blue line than anything. What a recovery.
Look out, McCulloch. What a save! Cam Ward, a dandy on a red-hot player. Milan McCulloch. 5:55 left to go in the opening period. McCulloch's in. Cam Ward says no. Well, some troubled times, but Cam Ward is right on the spot.
Well, I mean, he initially had some excellent work off the rush by Gleason, then Jordan, and then Malone, a winger back to deny a goal on the far post. But then before we could even enjoy that, Mahalik, who is playing his best hockey of the year, had 2 goals Saturday against Edmonton. The glove saved a thing of beauty. Obviously the flexibility, obviously the coverage of that glove, and then lastly the way he looked it right in to that glove.
Face off, one back, but possession gained by Ottawa. Hoffman with a shot, aggressively out. Cam Ward.
General Manager Brian Murray was raving to me about Hoffman's shot this morning, and Cam Ward, so much of this was the read. Watch Cam Ward and how far he comes out. Right here, look at this push. He's set, and he's made himself maybe close to a foot bigger just by getting as far above the crease as he was.
Mike Hoffman out in front. Zibanejad taken down by Talusti. Moving in now, Mark Mathot. In back of the goal, in control, Bobby Ryan. Ryan gets free, centers one, Zibanejad goes high. Mathot out in front, Ryan again intercepted by Justin Falk. Yuri Talusti pushes one ahead for Jordan Staal. Here they come. Eric pulls up over the line away from Zibanejad. Talusti off the backside of the net. Mike Hoffman takes a shove from Jordan Staal. Talusti for Carolina. Jordan for Eric. Negated by Mathot. Not out. Held in by Jordan. Looking for a tip. None available out of the corner. Zibanejad sets up Erik Karlsson. Here they come. Karlsson now swoops out to center. 74 points last season. Ryan with a shot blocked by Mikhail Jordan. To the corner. Kyle Turris for Ottawa. On a cycle for Bobby Ryan. Jordan gets control. Ottawa gets to it though. Here's Ryan. He'll push ahead. Kyle Turris looks around. Negated by Jordan. Mikhail Jordan in back of the goal. Turris on the forecheck. And the young Czech has control. Good strength there as he gets it out.
And he had to be tired at the end of his shift, so to be able to make good decisions when you're tired, yes, tells you about your fitness, but also that you can operate with your brain when fatigue is a factor.
Cam Ward moves it for Brett Belmore. Jared Callen off the stick of Mark Stone. Ron Hainsey back in his own zone. He's flushed out by Kyle Turris. He turns it over to Mark Stone. Here they come. McCulloch. It goes high. Carolina getting careless in their own zone with the puck. Now McCulloch. Checked by Nestrashil. They jam along the boards. Nestrashil with the game's only goal so far. Belmore. Nathan Gerby will move away from Eric Greiba and get it deep.
Ottawa has had the better chances. I mean, the majority of them have come in the last couple of minutes. But even, teams build momentum when they don't score. When they get good chances, it's like a power play that generates but doesn't convert.
Ottawa 12-9-5 at home. MacArthur's shot cut off by Ward. And Justin Falk took care of the rebound. Brad Malone lays it back. Here's Falk over the line. Dwyer for the front. So is McClement. Taken care of by Cody Ceci. Wierkosh turns away from McClement. Dwyer for Carolina. Patrick Dwyer inside for Jay McClement. The veteran now to the outside on a cycle. To the point for Falk. And directly along the boards, it's Brad Malone now. Malone grinding away from Patrick Wierkosh. Dwyer peppered by Cody Ceci. They jam along the boards. 17 minutes gone in period 1. Carolina 10 shots in the goal from Nestrashil. Ottawa has 8. And many of those great scoring chances on Mr. Ward. It's dropped off. Dwyer. Wierkosh picks it off. Good forechecking by the fourth line. Carolina needed a shift like this.
It's the biggest shift to the first period by a country mile. No question.
Chiasson, back deep, Riley Nash. And he takes heat from big number 90, Justin Falk. Out to center ice. Karlsson picks it off.
That's identical to a team having an excellent drive where they go right down the field and score with ease in football, and then getting your running game going. It helps possibly to stem the tide and take the momentum away, a shift like that.
David Legwand out of the corner. Riley Nash is on him. Legwand. This way, Karlsson out in front, canceled by Jordan. Getting to it is Elias Lindholm. Ice cut in half by Eric Condra. They'll lay it across for Tim Gleason. Along the boards, forked along that time by Riley Nash. And a good look at Erik Karlsson sidestepping Jeff Skinner. Mark Mathot out to center ice. Over the line, Shane Prince. The rookie sets up Karlsson. Ward got it, they score! On the rebound, Eric Condra is spot. And Ottawa has tied it.
Hockey is a game of layers. I want you to watch. That's Karlsson. And you have to make sure that you cover not just the first guy in the rush, but the second and the third guy. Skinner's late reading it. He's had a heck of a first period, but by my judgment, it's his guy. And then you didn't have that. You had the numbers, but you didn't have the tenacity in front. Whether it be Toulouse, whether it be Falk, whether it be Sekera, to be able to create no rebound chance for the former Notre Dame Fighting Irish player Condra.
Eric Condra's 6th goal of the season. Erik Karlsson, primary assist. Shane Prince, first NHL point. Leonard says no. The opportunity by Nathan Gerbe. The goal comes at 18:15. He's all the way back now. In the Carolina zone, Zibanejad checked by Nathan Gerbe. Gerbe held up by Zibanejad, and a penalty is called here by Chris Rooney.
Assisted by number 65, Erik Karlsson.
Well, so to me, one Swede is the central ingredient in the goal that was scored by Condra, and now another Swede takes an offensive zone penalty. Mika Zibanejad. Hard work there from Gerbe, keeps his feet moving. In zone official Chris Rooney detects the hold, and this is an important power play here for Carolina to get something good out of a first period where they played well early, and it's been all Ottawa lately.
Zibanejad, 6th overall pick in 2011. Duke Energy power play notes. You see the rankings for the Hurricanes on the power play. Ottawa on the kill. Jordan, Lindholm. They turn Skinner out in front. They whack at it. Cowan got to it. Played along here by Lindholm. Back to the point. Mikhail Jordan. He'll settle it down. A tip in the catching glove of Robin Leonard.
Two-way hockey. Condra went to the front of the net, scores a goal off of, I think, the terrific Karlsson play. Then in front of his own net, just had a heck of a back check. Both right in front of the crease. Watch him come down right here on Eric Staal. That is a weak side penalty killer, a forward reading that the house needs help and then coming down to do so.
64 seconds left in the period. Off the draw, Mathot. Listed along the boards with authority all the way down to Canmore. Under a minute left in this first period. Exciting period. Mika Zibanejad gone for holding. Falk brings it along. Hard around it goes, off of support. It stays down. Eric Staal on Cody Ceci, moved by Stone, captured by Elias Lindholm. Who had a goal Saturday night in Minnesota. Lindholm turns to the wall. Diagonally across, Jordan. Justin Falk. Mikhail Jordan down the wall. Jordan moves in, holds onto it. They'll circle the wagons out of the reach of Lindholm, and it springs back.
As we said, Mikhail Jordan would play in all situations, including a power play look.
Maybe a lane for the captain. Eric Staal turns it over. Broken up by Mark Stone, slid all the way down, and Ward had to be careful as he gets back to the trapezoid. 10 seconds left in period one. Sekera flying over the line, lays it along here from Malone. Off Kyle Turris. 2 seconds on the clock. Condra with a shot. Not enough time, an easy chance for Cam Ward. Andre Nestrashil will be Tripp's guest. We kick off the PNC Bank first intermission. He had Carolina's first goal. That was answered by Ottawa's Eric Condra at 18:15. We also have a feature on the GoPro from the NHL. Back with that right after this on Fox Sports Carolina. Back in Canada's capital, and the goal scorers tonight thus far, Andre Nestrashil for Carolina, Eric Condra for Ottawa. Carolina will start the second period on a power play. They've had one shot so far. Mika Zibanejad in the box for holding at 18:40 of period one. John Forsland, Tripp Tracy, Chantel McCabe at ice level, along with our skating production team here at Canadian Tire Center in Canada, Ontario. Falk gains entry, but does so offside. Should the Canes score in the power play tonight, Caniacs who say the winning phrase receive a free Bowberry biscuit from participating Bojangles restaurants tomorrow morning. Bojangles, it's bow time.
Well, this is a pretty important 28 seconds to try to get something good out of this power play on fresh ice, and if not, get momentum. Stone there made a heck of a play there to create that offside shorthanded.
Justin Falk now moving up. And checked on the play by Jared Callen. Eric Gryba, who bounced it all the way down to Cam Ward, who came up with a few sensational saves in period one. You see the Canes are down to 10 seconds on the power play. A good look at 22-year-old Justin Falk. Elias Lindholm moves up. Pass detected by David Legwand, not out. Jordan. Falk with a shot. Stopped by Leonard. Legwand got to the rebound. Now McCulloch in control. And Zibanejad's out of the box.
That's a key play there from Jordan at the end of his shift, because that puck gets by. Zibanejad's off to the races. That was a good entry. Jordan to Falk for a good chance with traffic.
David Legwand, first year of a 2-year deal, signed as a free agent last summer. Jared Callen crosses center ice. Hard around and on Ward. He'll move it this way for Ron Hainsey. A quick up. With his head up, Jordan Staal. Jordan in the zone, a stutter step. Here he comes. Shut down by Leonard. Nice move by Jordan Staal. And here come the Sens out to center ice. Erik Karlsson riding a 4-game point streak now, as he had an assist on Ottawa's goal. It's carried out here by Riley Nash. He'll get it deep. Hard around, that goes. Karlsson peppered by Skinner. A steal by Jeff Skinner. He gets it back off of Karlsson. It's loose. Alex Chiasson is back out. Chiasson holding onto it. A lead pass MacArthur. He'll cut. Ward says no. And rebound. Fed across by Erik Karlsson. Carolina gets out.
Boy, he's elusive, he's slippery, his hockey sense is through the roof, but Karlsson, if you can, you've got to get a body on him. Skinner had a chance to way deep in the Ottawa zone. You see how he can counter.
Turned back in by Andre Nestrashil. His shot turned out by Leonard. And the rebound is located by Clark MacArthur.
Well, you can see that Leonard's searching for pucks. I mean, he made a good save on Jordan Staal, but that one did not exactly... I think set a tone of confidence to his team. As I said in the first period, he said this team's had his number of Carolina, so they might be in his head.
Kyle Turris, Mark Stone, his shot absorbed by Jordan. Hammered! Blocked off the stick of McCulloch. Stone, McCulloch, off the stick, it goes high. It stays in play. Kyle Turris, Mark Stone to the outside of Nestrashil. Cody Ceci turned out by Cam Ward. Along the boards and back, it's Patrick Wierkosh by Kyle Turris. Mikhail Jordan for Carolina. Forecheck by McCulloch. Nestrashil turned it over. Turris off a body off Gleason. Cody Ceci off the stick of Tim Gleason. It stays in play. Chris Terry tries to clear. And Mikhail Jordan now will.
You can see Jordan. Excellent job. I mean, when he has players and pressure on him, he'll protect the puck and make a good play as he did to Nestrashil. Nestrashil's play was, I think, jumpy. And then at the end of his shift, second period, get it deep with the red line.
Through the middle of the ice and in, it's David Legwand, former Nashville Predator. Broken up by Carolina's Brett Belmore. Back out they come. Through neutral ice, moved along by Jay McClement. Eric Condra with his head on a swivel, checked by McClement. Gryba, top of your screen, Legwand. All the way across. And the man in his first NHL game, Shane Prince. Jared Cowan is nullified by Justin Falk. They do battle in the corner as we see. Andre Sekera has it, and away go Carolina. Through neutral ice, Dwyer broken up by Eric Gryba. All the way back to Shane Prince. He picked up an assist on the goal by that guy, Eric Gryba. Now it comes Eric Condra. Gryba back to get it in his own zone. He'll move away from Jordan Staal. Condra through center. Bounced by Zibanejad and played here by Justin Falk. Falk in control out to center ice for Eric Staal. In the zone, Talusti, skate to stick. His shot sealed off by Robin Leonard. Let's take a look at the first period numbers brought to you by Buffalo Brothers. Aw, man, now I want wings.
Well, as I've said a couple of times, I thought the first 10 minutes belonged to the Hurricanes. The second 10 certainly belonged to Ottawa. Ottawa's slight edge in scoring chances. I mean, a couple of their scoring chances were of the grade A variety. None better than Milan Michalek coming off a 2-goal game against the Oilers in the glove save campaign.
Had 3 points in that game. Did Michalek with 15:41 left to go in the second period. A false start. Carolina by 5 on the shot chart as we see. Jeff Skinner will situate himself next to Elias Lindholm and Riley Nash. Lindholm will take the face-off against Mika Zibanejad. Won by Zibanejad. Karlsson. Bobby Ryan a chip. Mike Hoffman off a stick. Mika Zibanejad on Lindholm. His shot, tough angle, turned out by Ward. Ref chance, better stop by number 30. Bobby Ryan in control. Inside and deep. Left there for Mike Hoffman. He'll turn it out on a cycle. Hoffman holding on to it away from Jordan. He'll chase him all the way up top. Hoffman along the boards now. Zibanejad away from Tim Gleason. Mike Hoffman for Ottawa. Now the Sens back in the neutral zone. They get onside. Bobby Ryan will curl back in full flight. Carlson with a shot turned out by Ward. Moved along by Tim Gleason. And the Hurricanes get it out.
He can beat you in so many different ways, Carlson. I mean, he just jumps. He's in it.
Jeff Skinner. A shot that's fought off by Robin Leonard and covered.
Well, we talked about Mikkel Jordan in our open, and I think he's had another good period in 5 minutes. You know, I think he uses his body well defensively. He has a desperation level, recovering from that giveaway at the offensive blue line. Getting in the shooting lanes, his offensive instincts have been noticeable. And I like that he'll make a first pass even when he's tired at the end of his shift.
Had a real confidence boost late in the game in St. Paul's. He was utilized quite a bit by the coaching staff. Now Belmore inside for Nestrashil. Defended by Patrick Wierkosh. He'll stay with it. Nestrashil with Carolina's goal tonight. On a cycle for Chris Terry, taken care of by Curtis Lazar. Cody Ceci rubbed out by Nathan Gerby. A steal, and it's brought out of the zone by Alex Chiasson, and he'll get it deep. In the corner, Carolina gets back on it. Gerby in control. With plenty of room, here comes Andre Nestrashil over the line. He'll cut. Lay it across, and the skates of Gerby out in front. Fended off by Leonard, and played here by Wierkosh. Ottawa gets out of dodge. Here they come. MacArthur. Play read by Justin Falk. Transitioned by Malone. Brad Malone taken care of by Wierkosh. Picked off by Cody Ceci. And a penalty is called up top. We'll tell you about it when we come back. 13:55 left to go in the second period. Deadlocked at 1 here in Ottawa. Patrick Wierkosh of Ottawa in the box for hooking, and Carolina gets their second power play.
Yeah, it was just inside the Ottawa blue line. Little drop play here for Malone. You see the stick right up, and this is Eric Stahl's first face-off of the game. He's the only lefty centerman on this unit. Elias Lindholm, if the face-off is on the other side, can take it. So, boy, you help yourself out if you win power play draws.
Canes 0 for 1 in the power play so far, one shot. The Canes are 2 for 18 in the last 5 with a manpower advantage. Gryba held in by Justin Falk. Had it around, now Jordan. He'll move it away from Kyle Turris. Inside it goes for Yuri Tlusty. Dropping it off to Elias Lindholm. Lindholm along the board, sets up shop. He'll lay it back to Jordan. One-timer Falk nullified by Eric Gryba, who has one of 4 shorthanded goals scored this season by the Senators. He gets it ahead. Turris pulls up, deflected wide by Jordan.
See, I don't think that pass is hard enough from Jordan to Falk. I mean, that gives a guy time to get in the lane.
Eric Stahl dangles in. Holds onto it. Falk, Jordan, turning Lindholm. Elias Lindholm now with a backhand feed for Mikkel Jordan. Here's Lindholm. His shot tipped just wide by Eric Stahl. Jared Cowan met on the way out that time by Justin Falk. Carolina tough on the puck. It's Tlusty. Jordan. Falk. Another penalty upcoming against Ottawa. Ward heads out. Jordan in control, gives it smartly to Kyle Turris. Now Mark Stone, 51 seconds of 5-on-3 time.
That tells you how smart Jordan is. He was tired there. He had been out the whole power play, still knew you want to maximize as much two-man advantage time as possible. Heck of a look there from Lindholm. I think he sold it with his eyes. Had the net front from Tlusty that tried to fire it off of Eric Stahl's tape in the high slot.
Duke Energy now with some power play notes here. The power play time on ice game leaders. Mr. Falk, Eric Stahl, Elias Lindholm right in back of him. Jared Cowan for high sticking.
Well, let's look for number 2. I don't know if I saw the stick right up there, maybe right at the beginning of the back of the net.
The Canes have one 5-on-3 goal this season, and they have some time here. Sekera in the ring at Skinner. Andre Sekera holding on to it away from David Legwan. Sekera around the clock, it goes Nash. Sekera Terry with a shot, easily detected by Mark Mathot. Nash to the point, Sekera. Here's Terry. Andre Sekera straight away, blocked by Legwand. Sekera, Terry, Andre again. Chris Terry shot stopped by Leonard, the rebound. Jeff Skinner out in front. Good stick defensively, David Legwand on Riley Nash. A dozen seconds left in terms of the 5-on-3. Nash, Skinner, he'll dance in on Greiba. Greiba lays the body on Skinner. Chris Terry settles it down. Andre Sekera taking that shot. Moving along, he gets it back. His shot. They score! It caroms across to Jeff Skinner. Power play goal. Carolina up by 1.
Well, you create a nice little good entry here. Riley Nash does a really nice job. Okay, Jordan Staal is going to end up with the puck on the far side. All right. Right here. Now, obviously it hits the Ottawa player in front. Legwand was down a stick. So Legwand down a stick. Sekera fans on it. It hits Mark Mathot. And Jeff Skinner goes to the front of the net and is able to take advantage of the good bounce. I really like the Riley Nash entry.
Carolina crosses the line offside. Mr. Skinner now has a 3-game goal-scoring streak with 3 goals as he cashes in at the tail end of the 5-on-3.
Which really was a 5-on-2 because Legwand was without a stick. You know, hockey's a game of bounces, and that's potentially a huge consequential turning of momentum in this game because the Sens have just about killed the 2-man advantage. We know what happens when you score on a power play like Carolina had that double minor in the second period of Minnesota.
Even terms on the ice now, and the Canes have scored on the power play tonight, so Caniacs who say the winning phrase receive a free Bowberry biscuit from participating Bojangles restaurants tomorrow morning. Bojangles, it's bow time. And a reminder, you fans, tomorrow morning you get there between 5:30 and 10 a.m. and you say the winning phrase, I'm a Caniac and it's bow time, to get that biscuit.
Yeah, but from what we hear, stay safe. 10-3 on the wheel of the car. Stay off the roads if you can.
Yeah, we hope the situation there is okay. Clark MacArthur now back to the point. Canes are scheduled to fly home after this, obviously with the New York Islanders in town tomorrow night. Islanders playing at home tonight against the Rangers. They were leading. Lazar turning with it. Curtis Lazar now back to the point. Weirkosh, he'll dust it off, get it in. Top of your screen, Nathan Gerby coming back in his own zone. He'll lift it out. Terry leaves it for Andre Nestrashil. He'll get it by Weirkosh. A good look at Lazar. Turning is Gerby off a stick. Defended by MacArthur as they get it out.
Good not called by the referee. It was Chris Rooney who had the best vantage point to know that MacArthur just fell. Gerby's stick was not the reason he lost his footing.
In the zone, Talusti now moved along by Jordan Staal offside. 10:51 left in period 2.
Boy, special teams are so important anywhere, in particular on the road. Bill Peters has not hit from the back, but he wants more from his power play. I look at a bunch of different things. I mean, I think the play that Jordan made to give Ottawa the puck smartly, to get as much time on the 5-on-3 as possible. The entry from Riley Nash, who was a healthy extra, didn't think he was very good in Minnesota, but makes a key play eventually on that Skinner goal.
Hurricanes, as we see, with 21 shots. Kyle Turris, Jordan Staal on this face-off. Turris has 5 points in 3 straight, 2 goals, 3 assists. A little bit of a false start, and they'll do it again. Jean Morin, the veteran linesman, gets that thing situated. McCulloch off a body blocked by Sekera. Jordan Staal turns away from Kyle Turris. It's loose, as you see. Brought along by Andre Sekera. The trailer is Polk. His shot blockered down by Leonard. Talusti fanning on one, and it's cleared back out to dead center.
I don't see that every period. Your 2 defensemen leading the rush. Falk with Sekera, Sekera with Falk, the second guy on the attack.
Andre Sekera, Justin Falk has a tough time finding the handle. Now it comes all the way back. Falk will go across for Sekera. Shielded, finished off by Mark Stone. Jared Cowan for Ottawa. Skate to stick, Turris, broken up. Eric Staal Lead pass for Elias Lindholm. You see it. He's checked by Eric Greiba. Greiba goes to work. Good play by Lindholm. Centering one off Leonard. Captured by Riley Nash. To the point. Hainsey, his shot. Fought off again. A big rebound by Robin Leonard. Nash. Hainsey. Around the clock. Belmore. He fans. McCulloch got it out. And now Kyle Turris will settle it down. Milan McCulloch will go deep in the Carolina zone. We'll bring it all the way back here with 9:33 left to go in this second period. Carolina with a 2-1 lead. Canes assistant coach Rod Brindamore on the other side with our very own Chantel McCabe.
Back in the second, Canes up by 1 with assistant coach Rod Brindamore. Your power play finally converts. That's going to make you happy. But what is Jeff Skinner doing right in this 3-game goal streak?
Well, you know, Skins, when he's on, he capitalizes on everything, and he gets a lot of shots around the net. You know, not so much from the outside. He's a dynamic player around the net, and that's where we got to get him more action.
Hope to see more. Thanks.
All right.
If he's on the perimeter, he can't take advantage of that bounce and score the go-ahead goal in this game. But, you know, he had a bit of a missed coverage issue, and Carlson's done that to a lot of people on Condra's goal. But he's done a ton of good things in this game, Jeff Skinner. He really has, and in a couple of different facets.
Skinner and the Hurricanes come home tomorrow night, take on the New York Islanders. It starts here with Hurricanes live at 7 from PNC Arena. Mark Mathot coming back ahead of Elias Lindholm. It pops out to Mike Hoffman, and away they go. Bobby Ryan, saucer pass. Erik Karlsson moves up, sets up Zibanejad, tipped in. What a goal! Mike Hoffman with his 20th, and we're tied.
Just like the first goal for me, right side of your screen, this goal is entirely about Erik Karlsson. Off of his skate, on one leg, cross-ice pass with a nice net drive. So you had Hoffman going to the net, Ryan going to the net, Hoffman scores. But how many players can do what Karlsson has done on these two Ottawa goals? I mean, boy, oh boy, the way he jumps out of nowhere and then makes a visionary play.
He's a 5th-round pick. He's 25. He's a rookie. That means lots of time in the AHL. Shane Prince looking for his first NHL goal. Then Ward says no on David Legwand. Legwand along the boards now as you see it up close. To the point, Wierkosh. Point to point. Cody Ceci off a stick off McClement. Shane Prince, Cody Ceci, tipped, knocked around. Here's David Legwand. His shot stopped by Ward. Prince gets after the rebound. Shane Prince. Eric Condra tries to bank it off Ward. Lots of chaos in front of Cam Ward, and now Shane Prince gets to it again. 8:20 left in the second period. We're tied at 2. Shane Prince holding on to it. He's had a very good first NHL game out of the corner. Prince tries to utilize the goal. Legwand for Condra. Eric Condra. Checked by Dwyer. Legwand tries to muscle it out in front. Sekera on the wall. Malone pressured by Wierkosh. And finally the Hurricanes slide it down, but it's icing.
I might think about a timeout here. I really might, because Ottawa's down on it. Prince, who played, as I said earlier, a game in the American Hockey League for Binghamton, but they played here yesterday against the Toronto Marlies. Good play from Falk there on the back door. Perhaps to save a goal. Cam, not much he could do in controlling that rebound. Prince, a key assist on the tying goal in the first period by Condra. And he's been good.
Bill Peters has called his timeout. Mike Hoffman is 20th from Mika Zibanejad and Erik Karlsson at 10:52. And Mr. Karlsson is a big part of this play.
To me, he's the key part of both goals. Left skate on his tape. I don't see him look over and notice that Zibanejad's going to be there. And Zibanejad does an excellent job of getting that puck to the net quickly. So you talk about the promise of the Ottawa Senators, hailing from the country of Sweden. Well, you just saw Karlsson, who is the numero uno star, Zibanejad, and you think about how these Swedes, what they learned from a guy by the name of Daniel Alfredsson to be good professionals.
Mike Hoffman now has a 4-game point streak. 3 goals and 2 assists in that time period. Off the face-off, Carolina got a breather, and Falk will dump it out. Here's Jared Cowan. Defended by Pat Dwyer, they turn it with some speed. Shea Assault along the boards, Sekera there for the Hurricanes. It goes by the attacking forward, around the boards, held in by Eric Gryba. Loose this way for Jared Cowan. He'll pin it by Dwyer out of the corner. McClement gathers in for the Hurricanes. He shakes free of Clark MacArthur with a tight turn, and out he comes. He'll settle the puck down. Smartly gain center ice and clear in. Gryba back first. You see it. Flushed out by Gerby. Gryba. MacArthur. Across it goes. Alex Chiasson, the former Dallas Star, picked off by Tim Gleason.
I remember walking onto the bus a few years ago after a game where Rob Brindamore, I think has credibility, said, Karlsson, he's the best player in the National Hockey League. And he had that injury suffered in Pittsburgh shortly after that, but what a compliment that was.
Karlsson's pass detected by Gleason before it got to Mark Stone. Chris Terry. Options back for Mikhail Jordan. Partial turnover. Jordan gets a second chance. 6:43 left in the second period. Deuces wild here at Canadian Tire Center. Out it comes Andre Nestrashil. Over the line. To the outside, Gerby. His shot. Scores! Nathan Gerby. That puck had eyes. Carolina back on top.
Let's take a look at Mikhail Jordan to Andre Nestrashil. Gets to the middle of the ice. And he, talk about Karlsson's vision, some pretty good vision to find Gerby. Let's see if this hits anything on the way through. Yeah, that, you know what? It grazes Karlsson. So Karlsson has one go off his tape into the net after he's dynamic in the playmaking capacity to set up a couple goals.
Nathan Gerby with his 6th goal of the season. Andre Nestrashil will get 1 assist. 13:26 is the time. We will wait on the other. Eric Stahl now. Mike Hoffman coming back. Stahl goes down. Play continues. Talusti shot. Fended off Leonard. Grab chance. Stahl. Stopped again by Robin Leonard. Ottawa survives. Out they come. Bobby Ryan. Mika Zibanejad. Guarded by Ron Hainsey out in front. They score! Ceci on the doorstep as we rock and roll back and forth, and Ottawa's tied it.
They're going to review this for sure. Let's see if there is a kicking motion. I can tell you that the 2 referees, with the consultation of the linesmen, got together to figure out what their call is going to be going to Toronto. From that look, looks like a good goal from an offensive-minded defenseman, Ceci, but it's tough to really zone in on his right skate. Looked to me like it went off the skate. I'm guessing they're going to take a look. Again, we saw a goal in Minnesota on Saturday, a more liberal view that the league implemented this year with skating motion, what is and what isn't. And for me, it's whether the skate stays on the ice. So far, I see good goal, John. I see Ceci winning that positioning battle on Talusti.
And he's being pushed in by Talusti. And it looks like it should count, but we'll see. They will review it. Kyle Raymond is on the horn. Working tonight with Chris Rudy, so we get to the Situation Room in Toronto.
And when you say push, you're correct. Obviously, and correctly so, the referees did not determine there was any incidental contact in the goaltender interference category, because we all know that's not reviewable. But for me, it's not this stated this way in the rule book, but the meetings that you and I attended, a big part of it was, can a player keep his skate on the ice? You want that skate on the ice because it comes off the ice, and if you set that precedent, you have a safety issue. To me, excellent job there, Ceci, keeping that skate on the ice.
Upon video review, it's determined that there was no distinct kicking motion, therefore the call on the ice stands. Good goal.
So right after Nathan Gerby scores, Cody Ceci picks it up. The 21-year-old Ottawa native, who was the 15th overall pick in 2012, gets the goal. 13:58 the time. Gerby scoring at 13:26 from Nestrashil and Mikhail Jordan, who has points in consecutive games. Mark Mathot to the outside of Riley Nash. Mathot moves it by David Legwand. It comes all the way back slowly in the Carolina zone. 5:34 left in the second period. John Tripp and Chantel with you as always. Tomorrow night back at PNC Arena. Canes and Islanders starting with Hurricanes live at 7. Riley Nash. Mikhail Jordan at the point. Ottawa breaks it up. Legwand gets away from Skinner. He'll move it in.
Gosh, I feel like it was a different millennium when we last saw the Islanders. Of course, it was the home-and-home opening weekend.
What a season they've had.
Oh, boy.
And we will start with Hurricanes live at 6:30. The game shortly after 7 o'clock on Fox Sports Carolinas. Along the boards now. In control. Kicked along by Gryba. Played here by Jared Callum. Sealed off again by the Hurricanes. McClement for Dwyer. Dwyer holding onto it through the blue. Kicked right on. Leonard said no. McClement trying to win that battle right out in front. Along the boards now. Dwyer taken down by Curtis Lazar. Ottawa peels out.
How many good forechecking shifts tonight is this fourth line centered by McClement, flanked by Dwyer and Malone had? I mean, it just nips the type of speed we've seen otherwise from Carlson and company in the mud.
Eric Gryba now in his own zone. Lugs out, paired with Jared Cowan. This is Mark Stone. He'll cut. Turn on Chris Terry. Threaded across off the stick of Hainsey. Captured by Nathan Gerby. The center zone for Chris Terry, who gets it deep. Wierkosh is back for the Senators. He's checked by Nestrashil. Ryan, Turris. Now McCulloch. Elon McCulloch in full flight. Kyle Turris. He'll cut. Get room. Ceci with a shot just wide. Traffic in front of Ward. And it careens out.
Terry, who I think has gotten better defensively again before he was a healthy extra, gets his stick legally underneath Ceci right as he was firing away.
Center ice zone, Nathan Gerby. Picked off by Kyle Turris. Nullified by Ron Hainsey and taken down. Belmore. Around the boards this way for Terry. Through center, Jordan Staal. In the zone, he'll pull up. Shift gears, work Mathot. Circle. Set up Eric, get it back. Jordan, muscled by Mathot. To the point, Sekera. A wrister tipped, blocked by Carlson. Played by Mathot. Not out. Held in by Folk. Turning is Talusti away from Zibanejad. Yuri Talusti checked by Mark Mathot. They scrum for it. It pops out to Jordan. He'll turn away from Carlson. Center one. Talusti. Good stop by Leonard. In tight on Yuri Talusti. Jordan Staal. Eric picked off by Mika Zibanejad. The Senators wheel out. Zibanejad elevates the puck. Bouncing one in on Cam Ward. No further play. 2 goals scored in a span of 32 seconds. First, Nathan Gerby. The answer from Cody Ceci. We're tied at 3 here in Ottawa.
Well, you look at general manager Brian Murray, who's courageously battling cancer right now. He's going to step down as general manager, name his successor at the end of the year. Long-time, tremendous hockey man. I asked him, because we've seen the Ducks recently quite a bit, because he was the general manager of Anaheim in 2003, about taking Getzlaf and Perry in the first round. He took Getzlaf with his pick, but he was able to make a deal with Doug Armstrong with the Dallas Stars, flipped 2 second-round picks for the first rounder Dallas had, and took Corey Perry.
Yeah.
Boy, oh boy, what a first round that was. Brian Murray, the general manager, and Tim Murray, now the Buffalo general manager, was the head of his player personnel. And boy, did they ever make 2 good picks with 1 good trade.
That's what you can do when you stockpile those first-rounders in a rich year. Leonard fumbles again, but covers up with 2:16 left in the second period.
And he told me this morning, Brian did, he said, because he was coaching the Senators at this point in 2007. They played Anaheim in the Stanley Cup Finals. And he said at one point, he turned to Corey Perry during the finals, and he said, you know what? Corey said it a different way, but he said, you're a nasty guy to play against. And Corey Perry turned to him. This is during the Stanley Cup Finals. Brian's coaching, and he said, yeah, I know, Brian. That's why you drafted me in the first round, made a trade to do so.
George?
Corey Perry breathes the game. I know you've spent some time with him.
Yeah, he certainly does. Sekera now holding onto it to the outside. His shot stopped, poked off the backside of Leonard, who's been an adventure tonight. It comes all the way back. Falk is on it. Kyle Turris. Ottawa's offside. 2 minutes left in the second period. The Canes have scored 3 goals tonight, so you can go to papajohns.com tomorrow, enter the promo code CANES3. Receive 50% off your menu-priced online order at participating restaurants. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
And by the way, we'll see Ottawa one more time, but we wish Brian Murray the absolute best. What courage he's displaying right now as he's fighting his colon cancer and just wants to finish what he has started here with the Ottawa Senators under owner Eugene Melnyk. Boy, oh boy, I think it's a story of inspiration and courage.
Brian's a great man, and the Ottawa Senators will play on St. Patrick's Day, March 17th, in Raleigh, the final meeting. Eric Staal now in control. Holding on to it away from McCulloch. His shot wide, played here by Sekera. Andre Sekera. Defended by Erik Karlsson. Jordan. Between the wickets of Toulouse, pummeled by Falk, stopped by Leonard, and carried out here by Mark Stone.
Really remarkable how much better Justin Falk gets his shot through, and when he can, how much he gets on it. And boy, it traffics there. You can see why he's had the offensive outburst he has.
Malone will settle it down. Patrick Dwyer rolls it in. Leonard puts it on a tee for Wierkosh. He's shielded on the way out by Malone. Lazar headmans the puck to Chiasson. They'll lay it across for Ceci. It's a flex wide off the stick off Hainsey. Carried out by Pat Dwyer. Under a minute left in the period. Patrick Dwyer across it goes. Tic-tac-toe. Off the bar. Maybe in. We'll see. Kyle Raymond does not signify anything but slow it down. Blow it dead. Violent collision. As the Hurricanes have a beautiful line rush. Robin Leonard on the bottom of the pile along with another Ottawa player as McClement jammed the front of the net, and they are calling for more help.
Oh boy. Obviously, whether or not that puck hit the back bar, I thought it did. It pales in comparison. It's the health of Ryan Leonard. There's another player down behind him.
Pete Friesen also comes out, Carolina trainer, to help the Ottawa side. 2 players down. I believe we'll see if that is Clark MacArthur possibly. Clark MacArthur it is. So it's Clark MacArthur and Robin Leonard. And now you see Leonard starting to move.
I don't see MacArthur having moved yet. Encouraging news for Leonard, but not MacArthur.
Okay, here's the play now. We will see it as the Hurricanes do everything right and maybe score.
Well, McClement gets to the front of the net, the drop pass from Malone. Actually, then McClement tries to get out of the way. It's definitely a goal, but that is obviously infinitely less important than the health of these 2 players. Leonard loses his mask in the collision. It's actually the right arm of MacArthur that collides with Leonard. And then we'll see. Obviously, it's a good goal, but oh boy, it's the head of MacArthur that collides with the right shoulder of Robin Leonard that causes this scary situation.
So they brought, as you see, the stretcher out. And they always have to be very careful when they try to do this here, although it might be a good sign that he is attempting to get up under his own power. Clark MacArthur attempting to get up here. They will stop the period here as they've put the 18 minutes up on the board for the intermission. It certainly looks like a goal. It's on the scoreboard. It's 4-3 Carolina. Jay McClement scoring on the 3-on-2 rush from Patrick Dwyer and Brad Malone. That's hopefully a great sign.
Based on how stationary MacArthur in particular was a couple of minutes ago, and prior to that, Leonard and Clark MacArthur not moving. The fact that he is getting off with the assistance of two teammates, Bobby Ryan and Erik Karlsson, and that Leonard had gotten up prior to that is very, very encouraging. And boy, did that look scary. And early indications are that maybe there is reason for optimism.
So we'll step aside. We'll have more time. We will have a little bit of time in terms of the second period, and then we will have the third period at the end of that. So we'll start our intermission. The Hurricanes 13-2-2 and leading after 40. Let's see if they can compound that. They get a big goal from Jay McClement late, and our goodwill wishes are with Clark MacArthur right now. 4-3, Carolina. The tail end of the second period, and a new goaltender for the Ottawa Senators, Andrew Hammond, who's been recalled a few times as a backup, 27 years of age, out of Bowling Green, relieves Robin Leonard. That much time left in the second period. Clark MacArthur has not returned for Ottawa. Carolina with a 4-3 lead on the late goal in the second period, scored by Jay McClement. Hurricanes now attempt to get it out. Great save by Cam Ward. Puck was knocked out of midair by Mike Hoffman. Hoffman shot off the crossbar, and it goes out of play.
Patrick Dwyer. Jubilee Fine Jewelers Rolex.
Boy, Ottawa, after losing a couple of teammates, new goaltender comes out with a real purpose. Good save here from Cam. Then a good push actually down on his knees, and the high rising shot. Maybe gets a piece and catches a bit of the bar too. Hoffman, boy, oh boy, can he fire it.
33 and a fraction left to go in the second period. Ron Hainsey back out to neutral ice. Brad Malone in the skates of Patrick Dwyer. Ottawa's back on it. Circling back in his own end, Mika Zibanejad. Little back heat from Jay McClement. Now Belmore for Dwyer. He'll lift it across. Malone stops, rolls it ahead. 5 seconds left in the period. Hoffman pinned there by Dwyer. He gets free with a couple of tight turns at the horn. Now they trade ends, and we will have period number 3.
But Cam Ward there in the last atypical, unique, just under a minute to play, was pretty darn good. Will he give Hammond a tap? No, game face is on. For this third period, that Carolina has the lead, and you look, as you mentioned, the former 4-year player at Bowling Green will face Cam Ward at the other end. Hammond. Cam has, he's only seen 20 shots. He's given up 3 goals. But Ottawa's had some pretty darn good quality chances here. So the Hurricanes, not only tonight, playing tomorrow, John, are going to want to roll 4 lines. Ottawa down to 11 forwards.
Nathan Gerby now sends it back. Mikhail Jordan, who's picked up an assist tonight. Andre Nestrashil with a goal, taken care of by Kyle Turris. Nathan Gerby for Nestrashil in back of young Hammond. He'll dangle one to the outside. Turris is on him. Nestrashil for Carolina. Nathan Gerby settles the puck down. Controls it. Shoots one, blocked in front. Off Patrick Wierkosh, kicked along by Nestrashil. Getting to it is Mikhail Jordan. Gerby with a shot, blocker down by Andrew Hammond. Dumped out by Mark Stone.
Boy, Nestrashil, his strength at the beginning, pretty darn good.
Now Nestrashil, along for Gleason. Both Robin Leonard, Clark MacArthur will not be back. We have that word officially from the Ottawa side. Nestrashil tied up by Cody Ceci. Chris Terry on the outskirts, holding onto it. On a cycle for Nestrashil. This way it's Andre Sekera. Slap pass, turned along for Nestrashil. His bid blocked by Stone. Gained by Cody Ceci, and out they come.
The only thing for Nestrashil, he's fortunate there that the Ottawa player changed too, because he was the high forward, exhausted, so he didn't have the energy to come back and help the D.
Riley Nash moves it ahead. Jared Cowan for Ottawa. Comes all the way back. Icing is called here against the Senators. And tonight on Fox Sports Live, top 10 teams in action across college hoops, plus what teams are on the bubble. And we'll make a statement with a month to go before Selection Sunday. Monday marks the first day NFL teams can place franchise tags on potential free agents. And you'll hear the story of William J. Powell, World War II hero who fought as a pioneer of civil rights by defining persistence in pursuit of his dream.
Here comes Skinner, centerman and juniors here to replace Nash in the faceoff. Doing a pretty good job.
Off the draw now, moved along. Skinner out of the corner, tied up by Curtis Lazar. 18:22 left in this third period now. Sakara with a shot. Looking for the tip was Riley Nash. Skinner off a body. Nash in control. Callan is on him. Nash goes deep. Backed down by Jeff Skinner. Off the stick of Lindholm. Ottawa finally gets it out, and a penalty is called in back of the play. High sticking against Ottawa. It stings Jeff Skinner.
Well, it's a tough penalty for Greiba to take because Ottawa had numbers. Not sure if there's going to be a double minor or just a minor. Let's watch Nestor show. Here's the strength. Bill Peters is going to love this shift. Center on center. He's able to protect the puck against Turris. Then he was really good down low. I mean, what Bill's trying to figure out right now is the Hurricanes are going to go to the power play. Is he going to be a shutdown centerman? Is Greiba in the box? Or is he going to be a good two-way winger? And the rest of this season will help to tell the tale about that. Skinner draws the penalty, but you can see Nestor should look pretty good in the middle there.
Fourth power play for Carolina. They are 1 for 3 with that many shots. Ottawa is yet to have a power play tonight. Jordan now will leave it for Justin Falk. He'll start from his own zone. Lay it along for Jordan. He'll clear it in. The thought is there. They jam from the corner. Carolina attempting to outnumber Ottawa. Dug out by Talusti. Yuri Talusti to the point. Falk, backhand dish. Talusti one more time. Elias Lindholm. Now Falk again. Lindholm turns, holds onto it. Out in front, there's a chance, and his first NHL goal. Mikhail Jordan.
Okay, the guy that's going to score is right here. The guy that's going to actually make the pass is actually right here. It's going to be Lindholm. Let's watch. Nice interchange between Talusti and Lindholm. Give and go between Lindholm and Falk. Falk helps to create the seam by getting in the middle before giving the puck back. And Jordan, in camouflage fashion, drives the back door. Elias Lindholm, heck of a pass. And good for Mikhail Jordan.
2:33 is the time of that one. Carolina 2 for 4 with the power play here tonight. Brad Malone holding onto it. Muscled a bit by Erik Karlsson. Fed along by Shane Prince. Sakara back in his own zone, hurried by Prince. They go to the corner wall. Alex Chiasson is there for Ottawa. Pops out right onto the stick of Justin Falk. And out they come. Over the line, Jay McClement nullified by Patrick Wierkosh, who sails it back out.
Boy, we've seen Lindholm score on his release from that spot against San Jose. We see passes like that, finding the backdoor defenseman. You see the things he can bring to a power play.
Bobby Ryan holding onto it out in front, forked wide by Shane Prince. Winding it up for the Hurricanes is Andrei Nestrashil. Pickpocketed by Bobby Ryan from his knees. Zibanejad to the outside, Hoffman. Defended by Belmore. Goes high in the sky and played here by Greiba. His shot off the stick of Ward. Terry in a foot race. Callan got there. Zibanejad in the corner. He's defended by Belmore. He's kissed by Bobby Ryan. Belmore stays with it. He sets up Nathan Gerby, and the Hurricanes will escape harm.
Well, the Canes in the 2 games against Ottawa, both here in Canada's capital, have done a pretty good job on Bobby Ryan. You know, who's been pretty much actually an assist, not a goal-scoring machine lately. Let's take another couple. Look at the motion of Jordan, never standing still. Never standing still. And once the weak side forward killing, I think it's Condra. You can see he absolutely has no idea that Jordan's just lurking and almost waiting for the play to develop as Talusti, Falk, and then specifically Lindholm did their work.
Karlsson now will tap it ahead. Gerby tries to turn and get it out by Karlsson. It's fielded by Milan McCulloch. McCulloch now with 15:50 left to go this third period. 5-3 Carolina. Karlsson. Across the center ice, the Islanders, the Rangers, last look, they're 5-5. Islanders in town tomorrow night, starting with Hurricanes live at 6:30. McCulloch goes down with help from Nash. Play continues, it's Turris. Kyle Turris turns along. Stone, good kick saved by Cam Ward, and it's dumped out. Carolina now will bounce it in on Andrew Hammond. Mikhail Jordan is first in the National Hockey League from Eric Stahl and Elias Lindholm at 2:33. McCulloch. It goes by Cam Ward. Erik Karlsson out in front, cleaned up by Jordan, and away they go.
Well, he's a courageous player, Jordan. Every time he gets sent down, doesn't feel sorry for himself.
Cross it goes. This hit wide by Jeff Skinner. Lindholm off a stick, off Karlsson wide. In control, third man high, Nash. He'll sail it across. Here's Skinner. Off the body, it deflects wide off Karlsson. Good look at Riley Nash. He'll move it. Skinner, top of your screen. Jeff Skinner broken up by Erik Karlsson. Out they go. Erik Karlsson, Ottawa's changing. He'll roll it in.
And I say that about Jordan. I mean, you look at his preseason, he's one guy that could have made the team based on that. He didn't. Went down, played well for Jeff Daniels in Charlotte. Had a recall, played well, got sent down. And here he is, he just keeps waiting for his chance and tries to improve a layer to his game every time he comes back as a Hurricane. That's a tough, resilient player.
Charlotte won in a shootout today over Norfolk, which was good to see. Now Justin Falk will move it along. Elias Lindholm has points now, 4 of them in his last 4 games with 2 goals and 2 assists. Shane Prince picked off by Jared Cowan. With his head up, he's pressured by Jordan Stahl. Stone throws it across. The penalty upcoming against Carolina. Cody Ceci now moves it in. Belmore is back. They flood the corner. We'll tell you about it when we come back. We'll show it to you, and then we'll come back. 13:50 left to go in regulation time. There's the penalty, Ottawa to the power play. In Ottawa, Bill Peters wanted a two-a-man performance tonight offensively so far. Look at this, 11 different players with a point. Multiple point games, Gerby, Nestrashil, and young Jordan. But Jordan Stahl's in the box, Ottawa to the power play.
We'll have to watch and see if Jordan Stahl will kill any penalties the remainder of this year. The Hurricanes' penalty killing has been so good. He's done that all of his career. Coming back from injury, that's one thing he has not done.
Wierkosh goes point to point for Erik Karlsson. Patrick Wierkosh holding on to it. Guarded by McClement up top. Here's Karlsson darting. Across it goes. Hammered by Wierkosh and turned out by Ward. Out of the corner. Mark Stone for Ottawa. He'll set up at the half boards. Here's Wierkosh. Karlsson swallowed by Ward. And a disturbance.
Cam got a bit of a break because where Chris Rooney was positioned, he lost sight of the puck and was actually still a little bit loose. So that break goes Carolina's way.
Congratulations to Chris Godwin, tonight's winner of a team-signed stick. Look for Rex Healthcare's Tweet to Win contest all month as we celebrate Heart Awareness Month.
Boy, you saw there that Karlsson, who has 2 sensational assists tonight, you can see he can wire the puck too. Turris was there, but when we talked about this with Carolina and Minnesota, he wasn't quite taking away the eyes of Cam, but Cam really did a nice job of taking that top of the crease area.
Karlsson off the face-off win. Good play by Nathan Gerby. It springs Riley Nash shorthanded. He'll move it along. Wierkosh coming back. Nash, good pressure. But circling with it is Mark Stone. They set up the breakout with 1:17 left to go on the power play. They're first. Ottawa tied for 18th overall and at home as they cross offside, and Carolina great on the kill, number 2 overall, number 2 on the road.
Right, excellent job. As we see it on a nightly basis, shorthanded, of holding the blue line. Let's just stop real quick right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, helping the defense with tight gaps. No speed generated for Ottawa. Karlsson was a part of it. One guy goes in too soon. That's been a pretty regular thing to see. Steve Smith will love that, handling the short-handed dimension.
1:12 left to go in terms of this power play. Zibanejad and Patrick Dwyer on the face-off. Won by Dwyer right into the Carolina bench. A break in play. 7 minutes gone in period 3.
And by the way, as McClement, who's been a big cog in the penalty-killing wheel, takes this face-off, a little humor between partners Justin Falk and Andre Sekera about that puck coming into the bench. on the scary play involving Leonard McCarthy. I mean, that was a heck of a play.
Yes.
Malone made to McClement, and McClement finishing under the bar. And Jay McClement, the year 2015 has been pretty darn good to him.
Well, you said it. They've been great all night. They get the reward. And a beautiful line rush. Dwyer, out she goes, killing more time. 49 seconds left. Canes and Islanders tomorrow night, 6:30 Hurricanes live. Face off shortly after 7 right here. As we emanate from PNC Arena, it's dumped in off a support or two. Played here by Bobby Ryan. Broken up by McClement. Carolina back out. And entering this game tonight, that penalty killing has killed off 48 of 50 over 22 games.
You know what? Yet our producer wants to put the GoPro on you tomorrow night.
That's not going to happen. I'm sorry. But that, they can attempt it. I can't see it happening. Now, McCullough. Gerby coming back. And guess we have, unless we have brain freeze because of the conditions here and whatever's happening weather-wise in Raleigh. Erik Karlsson coming back. Now Kyle Turris out to center ice. Moved along for Karlsson. 11:38 left to go in the third period. Cody Ceci in control. Little tip by Mark Stone. Eric Stahl away from Kyle Turris. To the corner now, McCulloch. McCulloch grinding it. Keeping it to the outside. Mathot with a shot. Blockered away by Ward. Played by McCulloch. Looking for a tip. None available. Cody Ceci sends it in. Andre Sekera reads the play. And away go the Hurricanes.
Goalie coach Dave Marcoux is going to love Cam's aggressive.
Here comes Jordan. Trip right in. Kicked out by Andrew Hammond. Now back to the goal. It's loose. To the corner. Jordan moving up. Jordan Stahl in support. Yuri Talusti. Off Hammond. That was intended. Here's Skinner. Back it goes. Jordan. Delayed penalty. Carolina set to go to the power play as Ward's gone. Ottawa touches up. Carolina power play number 5. The Carolina Ale House had to cancel tonight downtown Raleigh. The next one will be March 31st. And you can log on to CarolinaHurricanes.com for more details. We'll be in Washington that night.
And it was in front of that Mark Mathot, who signed the extension you talked about earlier. There it is. It's the hold. And it's simple but true. Good things happen when you go to the front of that. By the way, another shift to Mikael Jordan, keeping his feet moving. The guy that develops the defenseman, Glenn Wesley, is just going to love that if he happens to be watching.
I think he is.
He is?
Yeah, he did chime in.
He's upset with me.
I think he's watching. He's in a northern outpost somewhere. Freezing, he said. Well, join the club. Everybody's cold, Glenn. Now it's McClement by a coat. Along the boards, McClement taken down. 10:20 left to go in this third period. 5-3 Carolina. Power play number 5. They're 2 out of 4. Hainsey at the point. One-timer, they score! Chris Terry from downtown. Hey, what do you say? 6-3 Carolina.
You have to get possession before position, but once you do, here's Hainsey, here's Terry. Watch this action, and this is Terry's absolute wheelhouse. Usually it's a little bit lower towards the down. Yeah, he wants to go there. That's because that's where he scored more goals in junior, more goals in the American League. This is his spot. But to me, it's all about winning with numbers on the power play. Sometimes your work ethic goes away on the power play before Hainsey can find Terry for that laser.
Beautiful pass by Ron Hainsey, as you say, right in the wheelhouse. And the finish by Chris Terry, who's been sitting out healthy the last 6 games. Bill Peters, all the fine-tuning with the lineup tonight has really worked. Now it's played along the boards. David Legwand out to center ice. Under 10 left in this third period. Bierkosh moving up, holding on to it. Jordan is on him. Carolina with 35 shots on goal. Back it goes. Cody Ceci back out to center ice. Shane Prince in control in his first NHL game. They start over. Andre Nestrashil will get an assist, too, on the goal. Scored by Chris Terry, his 6th. Set up by Hainsey and Nestrashil at 9:49 on the power play. Third power play goal tonight for the Hurricanes. 11 minutes gone in this third period.
That was similar to the one, remember, back in early November that Terry wired by Jonathan Quick in that Sunday win against Los Angeles.
Yes.
Same spot.
Nash holding on to it. Cleaned up out in front by Erik Karlsson. Getting to it is Mike Hoffman. Ottawa starts ahead. You're looking at Bobby Ryan. Ryan moving up on Sekera. Zibanejad on Falk. 8:40 left in period 3. Ryan moves it. Ottawa stays home. This is a 5-game homestand. They have Montreal Wednesday. Hoffman wide. Through a screen. Bobby Ryan didn't see it. Hoffman readies. He'll turn. Hold on to it. Zibanejad turned out by Cam Ward. Justin Falk in control.
Good coverage there, keeping it to the outside.
Justin Falk now will slide it in. Around the boards for Mark Stone. Off a stick. Captured by Turris. Now Gryba. Eric Gryba. Slow developing play. They get it deep with Stone. Cam Ward leaves it for the D. It's Brett Belmore. Here's Jordan Staal with Eric and Talusti. Eric Staal gets after it. Weirkosh is on him. Will attempt to move it. Carolina gets to a forecheck. Stone. Skate the stick. Cody Ceci. Over the line, McCulloch. In on Ward. No further play. 7:41 left to go in this third period. The Canes pile on. Chris Terry on the power play. 6-3. Carolina.
In the third, it's 6-3 Canes. The team's penalty kills set a franchise record, killing 36 straight earlier in the year. The Canes have killed their last 49 of 51. Jay McClement, the specialist, leads NHLers in shorthanded ice time per game. Everyone watches videos of opposing teams' power play, so what's made the Canes so good shorthanded? The execution has worked. They've done a good job knowing where the most dangerous players on the ice are instead of getting puck focused. That's got them the second best penalty kill in the league, by the way. They don't talk about it for superstition's sake, guys.
Good stuff, Chantel. They've also scored 3 power play goals for the first time this season in a game. Now Brad Malone will go deep. Shane Prince coming all the way back for Ottawa. Chiasson along the wall, leaves it there for Curtis Lazar. Here they come. Weirkosh with a shot easily swallowed by Cam Ward. Here's the Storm Tracker and Mr. Tracy, how have our keys played out tonight?
Well, the first 10 minutes of the first period definitely represented back to good starts. The coverage for me, sharper defensively. I think about that play late in the first period between Jordan Gleason and Brad Malone saving a goal at 1-1. And can the Canes match the output of Karlsson? We both know that Karlsson has made a couple of spectacular playmaking plays, but the Hurricanes in team fashion have made up for it. And you mentioned the power play. Good for Rod Brind'Amour because he just keeps working at it and working at it. I know he believed in a lot of things in Minnesota, and they get their just desserts tonight.
Out of the corner now. Moved along by Tim Gleason. Nathan Gerby darts out. He'll gain the line. Method is back. He'll pull up. He has a goal tonight. Goes off the stick of Chris Terry. Controlled here by Ottawa's Eric Condra. A bouncing pass. Legwand throws it across. Sliding down. Mikhail Jordan. Condra moves it in.
Boy, there. Leaving his feet at the right time. That shows you're not afraid of making a mistake when you leave your feet, because if you leave it at the wrong time and do a slide by, you're going to look pretty silly. I mean, he's just doing things that show a truly rising level of confidence. Let's watch him left side of your screen, attacking the puck. Gleason had done a nice job supporting in case that puck gets through. So it's been a banner evening for Mikhail Jordan.
Really has been. Good for him. He had that painful walk on the plane, one of the last cuts as that shot grazes the outside of the goalpost on the way home in the final preseason game. Everybody knows what's going down at that time, and he was going down, and boy, you could feel for him.
He's never said it, but I think that he probably had some good offers in Europe the last few years and decided, hey, I'm chasing the NHL dream.
Weirkosh denied by Cam Ward. Out of the corner. Bobby Ryan had it, lost it. Controlled by Carolina. Back out. Sekera. Moves it by Cody Ceci. Not deep enough. Here they come. Ryan with Zibanejad. To the outside, turned out again by Ward. It goes out of play. We get a stoppage. 5:54 left to go in regulation time. Hurricanes 6, Senators 3, down the stretch in Ottawa. Back in Ottawa, Erik Karlsson on the bench. Coors Light, Cold Hard Facts. It's our second installment here tonight. Points by defensemen since last season. Karlsson leads Dustin Byfuglien of Winnipeg. He has 2 helpers tonight, but his team is short by 3.
Yeah, and to me, since Christmas, the fact that he's a plus 11 coming into tonight, you know, is the part of his game that I maybe am most excited about. He's a dazzling player. The Hurricanes have a chance here with just under 6 to play to take 4 out of 4 points in the season portion of the series here on the road.
Shot taken, blocked in front by Andre Sekera. The shot by Mike Hoffman. As it skips out of play, we had a turning point late in the second period. On a beautiful line rush by Carolina, and some scary moments for Ottawa.
Well, obviously, extremely scary as MacArthur trying to get back on McClement collides with Leonard. They were both down. With that being said, that line absolutely deserved to be the maestros of the most important play in the game the way they have played.
McClement shut down by Andrew Hammond. I'm sorry, that was Toulouse busting in, and now Ottawa will carry it back out. Bobby Ryan over the line. Hoffman inside for Ryan. Centered, cleaned up by Sekera, but not out. Hoffman to the point. Fumbled by Cody Ceci. They rewind.
What more can you say about Brad Malone, who dropped the puck to McClement for that goal? That's the biggest one. Out of the lineup, doesn't feel sorry for himself a couple of occasions. Shouldn't have probably been out of the lineup. And he comes back in and sends an even more powerful message.
Just about 15 minutes gone in this third period. Curtis Lazar pushes one over the line. Alex Chiasson will go inside with it. Hainsey moves it out of the reach of Belmore. Malone comes together along with Ottawa's Curtis Lazar. Chiasson back to the point. It goes by Jared Cowan. Ottawa retreats. 36 shots for the Hurricanes and 29 taken by Ottawa. The Hurricanes have also blocked 16 shots tonight in front of Cam Ward.
And, you know, when you look at the save percentage, it's not going to dazzle you. Cam Ward has made some big-time saves here tonight. And he made a save, Cam Ward did, right before the puck went the other way, with Ceci caught on what would right now be the game-winning goal.
Next telecast tomorrow night, John Tavares, the captain of the New York Islanders. We start with Hurricanes live at 6:30. Islanders lose a heartbreaker tonight to the New York Rangers at home, 6-5.
It's the first time the Rangers have beaten New York with the Islanders this season, so that'll be a big building block. And for the Rangers on a Monday night, after coming back, that's tough playing in Arizona on Saturday, their western swing.
Shifting is Mikhail Jordan. He'll move up again. To the outside for Nathan Gerbe. He'll dance. Just about 16 minutes gone in this third period. Gerbe on the exchange for Tim Gleason. Chris Terry, who has scored. Peppered by Mark Stone. They hack at it. Now Gleason knocked down here by Kyle Turris. Ottawa gets it out.
The most fun part of tomorrow's game, there are going to be a lot of fun parts we'll see. Carolina's penalty killing. They've struggled mightily in the first 2 games of the season. They've played so well since. I guarantee that'll be the biggest part of the motivation against Tavares and Johnny Boychuk. And boy, the Hurricanes have come so far since then.
Mark Stone off a body. Blocked by Elias Lindholm and skated out by Nathan Gerbe. 3:29 left in this third period. Icing is called here. We'll swing it back.
Well, it's another one of those close hybrid icing situations. First player gets the dot. Elisman has to decide. And just to elaborate on my point, I mean, you know, I think the Islanders had 4 or 5 power play goals in that home-and-home set to start the season. And since then, you know, and in particular in the new year, Carolina's penalty killing, if you just take that portion, as good as any in the league.
Islanders might be the fastest team in the NHL. Many say that. We'll see tomorrow night how that matchup goes. Taken that time by Shane Prince as it goes high. It goes off a stick. It deflects out of play. 3:18 left in this third period. Caniacs catch a full hour of Hurricanes Hockey Talk with Mike Maniscalco. Coors Light, Canes Corner, Backyard Bistro. The next one Thursday night at 7 p.m. Special guest Ryan Murphy. You can listen in on 99.9 The Fan.
And one more point. Garth Snow deserves a lot of credit. A, for being as patient of a general manager. That applies to Carolina, I think, right now. And also for sticking with Jack Capuano when a lot of people thought it was a coaching issue in New York. So, hey, listen, sometimes patience is a virtue.
Burkhoff to the outside, cleaned up by Falk. He'll steam in the zone. Justin Falk settles it down. Wide of Andrew Hammond. And it comes back out. Carried here by Shane Prince on the off wing. He'll center one, fanned down by Rierkosh. Carolina getting back in good defensive position. Played here by Eric Gryba. 2:39 on the clock. Legwand moving it back in his own zone.
Skinner's had a nice night here with first man pressure. Now he'll get off. He had one missed assignment on Ottawa's first goal, but I think he's continued to do a lot of things.
Hurricanes looking for their 20th win of the season. This their 55th game. They're 9th on the road. And looking to stop a 2-game skid. Consecutive losses against Anaheim and Minnesota. Eric Stahl checked by Eric Gryba. Andrew Hammond in relief of Robin Leonard moves it. A loose puck. Toulouse had it, lost it. Carried out here by Mike Hoffman. Hoffman in the zone. He has good speed. He'll center one off a stick. Looking for Zibanejad. Cowan off the stick of Ward. Under 2 minutes left. Now Hoffman interrupted by Eric Stahl, who sends it across. Brett Belmore for Yuri Toulouse. Goes by Jared Cowan, and the Sens are back. They stay at home, Ottawa does. They play Montreal here on Wednesday night. And they started this night 9 points out of a playoff spot. 90 seconds left. Broken up by Brad Malone and picked off by Eric Gryba, and he gave it away to Pat Dwyer. It's not pretty, but the Hurricanes keep it ahead. And this fourth line is out late. They also have been stellar tonight for the Hurricanes.
They do the things that they've done, key things like that. Look at that back pressure. There's going to end up being a penalty here, and the Hurricanes are going to be shorthanded again. But, and it's going to be to Patrick Dwyer.
Carolina's only 39, 2 minutes.
You see the trip. But at crucial points in this game where the Senators really had blazing speed, there were 2 or 3 shifts from Dwyer, Malone, and McClement that just for a moment relieved pressure and settled things down. They were those grinding, forechecking shifts in the Ottawa end.
Right. 1:13 on the clock. Second power play for Ottawa. Cleared ahead and out by Tim Gleason. Andrew Hammond now will leave it there. A 4-year player at Bowling Green, started his junior career in the British Columbia Hockey League. Now Zibanejad to the outside. Legwand, Bobby Ryan out of the corner. Carlson at the point. Point to point. Moved along by Hoffman. Off a body, off Gleason, 45 seconds left. Bobby Ryan turns back, Erik Karlsson. Karlsson in control. Goes by Bobby Ryan, played by David Legwand. 35 seconds left. Karlsson cuts, walks in. Gleason's on him. Hoffman, Zibanejad, another penalty. 5-on-3 for Ottawa.
Ottawa, yeah, it's going to be Riley Nash.
Carolina penalty number 22 minutes for hooking.
And there you hear Kyle Raymond with the call. You know, there's some pride on the line here. You know, the Hurricanes, they don't want to give up a goal. They want to allow Cam Ward to appreciate a goalless third period. You know, he's bailed this team out on so many nights. So there's a lot at stake here, you know, for number 30 in the nets.
5-on-3 goaltender stays put for Ottawa. Broken up by Hainsey right out. 24 seconds left. So the final push here for the Sens, down by 3. Erik Karlsson through center ice. Zibanejad for Turris. Out in front and behind Zibanejad. Bobby Ryan. He'll dangle. 7 seconds, a shot. Drifting wide on a tip. Centered. Turris tied up by Falk. It's loose to the wall with a second left. Shot, no problem. That'll do it. Gutsy win, to a man win for the Hurricanes tonight. as they surround Cam Ward and defeat the Ottawa Senators 6-3.
He was good. Terry back in the lineup. Ooh, that wasn't back in the, I mean, it was a team effort through and through. Good for the boys, finishing it for Cam. Not giving up a late goal that wouldn't have impacted the outcome, but I thought Cam, you look back to his save on McCulloch in the first period, he made a bunch there late in the first where I think it could have been an Ottawa lead after 20 with what they did in the last 10 minutes of that period. The power play, good for the man advantage. They've had some tough nights, not tonight. Mikel Jordan, we'll talk to him probably in our post-game show. The two Czechs, Nestrasil and Jordan, they were two of the finest, but there were many efforts.
Congratulations to the Hurricanes, and by picking up 2 points in the standings, and with the victory, the Carolina Ale House will donate $200 to the Carolina Hurricanes Kids and Community Foundation. So the Canes get it done tonight across the board. Virtually every player contributed statistically and tangibly. Everybody was on board tonight. Final count, Carolina 6 and Ottawa 3. Stay with us. Hurricanes Live total post-game coverage comes your way next from Canadian Tire Center here in Canada's capital. Second victory this season. Huge game for Mikel Jordan. 6-3 Hurricanes on Fox Sports Carolinas.